An empire is breaking. The court loses control. People are afraid. Rebellion spreads. At one city gate, a notice goes up. This is where the story begins. Empires rarely break all at once. At first, the sound is small. A strange wind moves through a palace hall.
This is where Three Kingdoms begins?
Not with armies. Not yet. It begins with Emperor Ling taking his seat. Then a great green snake drops from the rafters. It coils on the dragon throne.
The dragon throne means the emperor's seat, right?
Yes. The seat of the emperor and the symbol of the empire.
So the symbol of power becomes a warning.
Exactly. And the warnings keep coming. Earthquakes. Flooded fields. Black vapor rising into the hall. A court official named Kai Yang says the rot starts with the eunuchs.
Eunuchs were palace officials close to the emperor?
Yes, they controlled doors, messages, and sometimes the emperor himself.
Kai Yang tells the truth. What happens to him?
He is sent home on an invented charge. When a court stops listening, hungry people listen somewhere else. Far from the capital, a failed scholar named Zhang Zhao gathers herbs. In the mountains, an old man gives him 3 scrolls.
So he is not a general yet.
No. First, he is a healer. Plague spreads. Zhang Zhao moves from village to village. He heals the sick and asks for nothing. His followers multiply across 8 provinces.
That is no longer charity, that is power.
Then a slogan begins to move through the land. The blue heaven is dead. The yellow heaven rises.
Blue heaven, yellow heaven. Is that a call for a new order?
Yes, the old world is dead. A new one should replace it. The plan is careful, but a disciple betrays it.
So Zhang Zhao has to move first.
That night, he raises his army. Hundreds of thousands wrap yellow cloth around their heads. The yellow turbans rise. Government troops run. The news reaches Luoyang, the imperial capital, and the court finally panics. Every region is told to raise troops. In Yuzhou, a northern region, Governor Liu Yan posts a recruitment notice.
One notice on a city gate. Why does it matter?
Because it will bring a poor man to history's door. Today, that notice reaches a market town called Zhuo County, and standing before it, there is a man you need to know.
The notice is going to change someone's life, isn't it?
It changes 3, and it changes everything. But to understand why, we need to go back to a village called Lu Sang, and to a tree. In front of a poor family's house stood a mulberry tree, 5 zhang high. That is over 15 meters. From a distance, its canopy spread like the canopy of an imperial carriage.
Wait, a tree that looks like a royal carriage? People would have noticed that.
They did. A traveler once stopped and stared at it and said, "This house will produce a great man." The family was named Liu, and a boy played under that tree. While other kids ran wild, he stood in the shade, pointed at the canopy, and said, "Someday I'll be emperor, and this tree will be my carriage canopy."
A poor child claiming he will be emperor. That could get someone killed.
Yes, but his uncle heard him, and instead of alarm, he started sending grain and cloth to the family. He told people, "This boy is no ordinary child." The boy's name was Liu Bei, and his family tree traced back to the imperial house of Han.
He is imperial blood, but you said they were poor.
That is the contradiction at the center of this story. His ancestor was a prince, Liu Sheng of the Zhongshan line, but the family lost its title generations ago. His father died young. By the time Liu Bei grew up, there was nothing left but the name. He wove straw sandals and mats. Every evening he brought his mother a bowl of hot soup. That was the life.
Imperial descent, and he is selling sandals at a market. That is a long fall.
It gets sharper. His mother scraped together what she could and sent him away to study. He learned from famous masters. He sat in the same room as Gongsun Zan, a future warlord. And when the studying was over, he came back to the village and went on weaving sandals.
Famous masters. A future warlord as a classmate. And then back to weaving sandals. That must have felt like the story was already over.
More than 10 years passed. Liu Bei is 28 now, and the governor posts the notice. He stands there, reading every word. He is tall. His ears hang to his shoulders. His arms are so long, his hands reach past his knees. Among the farmers and market vendors, he does not look like a sandal weaver. He finishes reading, and he sighs.
Just a sigh? Not fear, not hesitation?
Not fear. There is a fire in his chest. But he has nothing to burn it on. No money, no men, no army. And then, behind him, a voice explodes. A real man should fight for his country. What are you sighing about? Liu Bei turns. The man is a head taller than him, shoulders stretching his shirt at the seams, a face like a leopard, round eyes, bristling beard, and a voice that could shake plaster off the walls.
Who is this? He sounds like he walked out of a different story.
Liu Bei stares at him for 2 seconds and asks the only reasonable question. What is your name? Shang Fei, courtesy name Yaide. Born here in Zhuo. I have land, I run a wine shop. I've killed my share of pigs. I like making friends. Now, why were you sighing at that notice?
Courtesy name. That is a formal second name, right? In those days, educated people had one?
Yes, a name taken at adulthood. Liu Bei's courtesy name was Xuande. But right now, Zhang Fei cares more about that sigh than about formal names.
Killed my share of pigs. He does not hold back at all.
Liu Bei does not waste words either. My name is Liu Bei. I am of the Han Imperial House. The yellow turbans have risen. I want to break them, but no money, no men, no soldiers. And Zhang Fei's eyes light up. I have money.
So the sigh met its answer in 3 seconds. One man had the will and no means. The other had the means and was looking for a will.
Exactly. I will fund it. We recruit. We do this together. What do you say? Liu Bei does not answer immediately. But something shifts in his eyes. He pauses. Then he nods. Come, let's have a drink first. They turn into a village tavern. The door stands open. Wine jars line the counter. Sunlight slants in through the frame. Zhang Fei bellows for wine, loud enough to shake dust from the ceiling. Liu Bei sits across from this thunder-voiced stranger, and he thinks that sigh was worth it. The wine has not arrived yet. But the shadow at the door moves first.
That has to be the third man. Who is it?
That shadow is about to become a man. And that man will complete the 3.
The third man. After Liu Bei's measured calm and Zhang Fei's thunder, I cannot imagine who fits between them.
He pushed a wheelbarrow up to the tavern wall and strode inside. He did not sit down. Wine. Fast. I'm heading into the city to enlist. Liu Bei's cup stopped halfway to his mouth. The man was half a head taller than Zhang Fei. A dark red face, a beard to his chest. Standing still, he already looked like he was watching you.
Half a head taller than Zhang Fei? Zhang Fei was already enormous. This man sounds like a mountain.
Liu Bei set down his cup and stood. Friend, would you sit and drink with us? The man looked at him, swept his gaze across Liu Bei's face, then Zhang Fei's grin. 2 seconds. He pulled out a bench and sat. My name is Guan Yu, courtesy name Yunchang. I'm from Hedong. 5 years ago, a tyrant was terrorizing my hometown. I killed him. I've been on the road ever since. I heard they were recruiting, so I came.
He killed a tyrant and then just walked the roads for 6 years? That is a hard life. And he says it like he is reporting the weather.
Zhang Fei slapped the table. Fight rebels? That's what we're doing. Liu Bei gave him a look. Zhang Fei shut up, but kept the grin. Liu Bei explained his plan. Not many words. The empire is in chaos. He wants to defeat the rebels and bring peace, but his hands are empty. Guan Yu listened. When Liu Bei finished, he nodded. 1 word. Good.
That is the fastest yes I have ever heard. 3 sentences from Liu Bei, and this giant of few words is all in.
Zhang Fei stood up and slapped his thigh. Come to my estate, we'll talk properly. Behind Zhang Fei's estate stretched a peach orchard. Pink covered every branch. The wind blew and petals fell like snow. Zhang Fei led them through the orchard and stopped in the center. He turned around. The grin was gone. Tomorrow, the 3 of us make an offering to heaven and earth. We become brothers. From now on, we work together. What do you say?
Becoming brothers in a peach orchard? Is this a ritual, or is Zhang Fei just being Zhang Fei?
In that world, an oath sworn before heaven was as binding as blood. Zhang Fei knew exactly what he was asking, and Liu Bei did not hesitate. The next day, the blossoms were still open. An altar stood in the orchard. Incense, offerings, no guests, only petals drifting down. The three men knelt, Liu Bei in the center, Guan Yu on the left, Zhang Fei on the right. They spoke together. We will stand as one, protect the helpless, serve the state. We do not ask to be born together, but we swear to die on the same day. Let heaven and earth bear witness.
Die on the same day. That is not a promise you make lightly. That is your whole life on the table.
Their voices were not loud, but in the empty orchard every word rang clear. Liu Bei became the eldest, Guan Yu the second, Zhang Fei the youngest. After the oath, 300 men packed into the orchard and drank through the night. By dawn, they had an army, but no horses. No horses meant no speed on the battlefield. They had blades, they had bows, no mounts. Brotherhood alone was not enough.
So after the oath, after 300 men, they are still stuck. The world does not care about poetry.
Then word came from the gate. 2 horse merchants had arrived with a large herd, asking to rest. Liu Bei went to meet them. 2 big traders from the north, turned back by bandits. Liu Bei told them his plan. Fight the rebels, protect the people. Just the facts. The 2 merchants exchanged a look. We have 50 good horses. Silver, iron, take it all. If you are going to do something great, you will need it.
50 horses and a fortune in silver, given to a stranger? What made them trust Liu Bei that fast?
Liu Bei rose and bowed deep. He did not say much, but with horses, iron, and money, everything accelerated. Liu Bei forged twin swords. Guan Yu raised the green dragon blade, curved like a new moon. Zhang Fei leveled a long steel spear. Recruits pitched tents nearby. By the final count, more than 500 men, each in armor, each armed. They had become a real force.
2 strangers in a tavern became 500 armed soldiers. That happened very fast.
Each man in full armor. Twin swords, great blade, long spear. They finally looked like men setting out to change the world. That day, Liu Bei led Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and 500 recruits toward the provincial capital, Yuzhou. The officer who received them looked them over. No rank, no credentials, homespun clothes. He said little and took them to Governor Liu Yan. Liu Yan sat in the main hall, hair half white, eyes sharp. Liu Bei stepped forward, gave his name, traced his lineage back through the imperial house. Liu Yan's eyes brightened. You are of the imperial house? I am. He rose, walked down, and clasped Liu Bei's shoulder. Then you are my nephew.
Imperial recognition. The poor sandal weaver just became the governor's nephew. That changes everything.
500 men with no name had walked through the gates of Yuzhou, and nothing would be the same.
3 men swore an oath in a garden. Now they stand at the gates of power. I need to know what happens when they walk through.
500 men walked through the gates of Yuzhou. Liu Yan had called Liu Bei his nephew. Then word came. A yellow turban commander named Cheng Yuanji was marching on Zhuo County with 50,000 men.
50,000? The brothers have 500. That is not a battle. That is a math problem with no solution.
Governor Liu Yan sent Zhu Jing with the 3 brothers and 500 recruits. 500 against 50,000. Zhu Jing said nothing. Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei said nothing. They took the troops and marched.
No speeches, no hesitation. Just 500 people walking toward 50,000. That is either courage or something colder.
Daxing Mountain. The 2 forces met at the foot of the hills. The yellow turbans spread across the valley, dark and endless. Not trained soldiers, hoes, hatchets, sharpened sticks, but a flood of them.
Hoes and hatchets against trained soldiers. These are not professionals. These are desperate people with nothing to lose.
Liu Bei sat on his horse, Guan Yu on the left, Zhang Fei on the right, 500 behind them. He did not shout, he just looked across the field. A rider burst from the enemy ranks, Deng Mao, Cheng Yuanji's lieutenant. Spear leveled, coming fast. Liu Bei's gaze shifted to Zhang Fei. A slight nod. And Zhang Fei moved. His horse surged. The spear drove forward, fast as a snake from the grass. Deng Mao's weapon had not begun to rise before the point punched through his chest.
One nod from Liu Bei, and Zhang Fei ends a man in seconds. That is not just violence, that is trust in motion.
Cheng Yuanji saw it from the rear. His eyes went red. He spurred his horse and charged straight at Zhang Fei. Zhang Fei braced to meet him, but before he could move, a flash of steel swept past from his right. Guan Yu's green dragon blade swept through, one cut clean. Cheng Yuanji went down, horse and all. 50,000 men stood frozen. Both leaders were dead. Then the retreat began, one man, then a wave, then everyone running.
Both commanders dead in the first exchange. 500 just broke 50,000 without a real battle.
Back in Yuzhou, they were heroes. Wine, silver, their first victory. But the celebration lasted only 2 days. An urgent dispatch. King Zhou was surrounded. The walls were about to fall. Liu Bei read it and said 4 words. I will go. They reached Qingzhou. Rebel camps surrounded the city, tents packed to the horizon. The first assault failed. 5,000 men went in, and the enemy swallowed them.
So the same tactic that shattered Daxing Mountain just crumbled here. This is a different kind of fight.
Liu Bei pulled the troops back and made camp. That night, a single lamp burned in the command tent. Guan Yu and Zhang Fei sat silent, waiting. Liu Bei stared at the map for a long time. He traced 2 lines with his finger. A straight fight won't work. We need surprise. Guan Yu, take 1,000 men to the left ridge. Zhang Fei, 1,000 to the right. When they chase us past, I sound the gong. Hit them from both sides.
This is new. Li Dai is not just brave now. He is thinking like a commander. The sandal weaver is becoming a general.
The next day, Liu Bei and Zhu Jing led their troops forward, drums beating. The rebels came out to fight. Liu Bei engaged, then turned and ran. The rebels chased. The moment they crossed the ridge, a gong rang out. Guan Yu burst from the left, Zhang Fei from the right. Liu Bei turned and charged back in. 3 forces struck at once, 3 blades falling together. The rebels collapsed. No one knew which way to run. From inside the city, the garrison joined the attack. Qingzhou was saved.
Daxing Mountain was raw power. Qingzhou was a plan. Liu Bei is evolving right in front of us.
After Qingzhou, Liu Bei had one more destination. His old teacher Lu Ji was commanding the front at Guangzhong, facing Zhang Zhao's main rebel force. They reached Lu Ji's camp. 50,000 government troops sat facing 150,000 rebels. Both sides held. Neither moved. Liu Bei entered the command tent and bowed. The man at the head, hair half white, eyes sharp as blades, studied him. You Xuande? Teacher. Lu Ji stood, walked up to Liu Bei, and clapped him on the shoulder. 2 words. You're here. Good.
So Lu Ji knew Liu Bei as a student. The sandal weaver's past keeps reaching into his present at the most critical moments.
But Lu Ji was pinned. He gave Liu Bei 1,000 more troops and sent him to Yingchuan to scout the enemy and coordinate the attack. That night, the 3 brothers left the Guangzhong camp with 1,500 men and marched into the dark. 500 men from a peach orchard. Daxing Mountain. Qingzhou. Guangzhong. Their blades were not yet cold.
They went from 3 strangers in a tavern to commanders of 1,500 men, and the real war has barely started.
The night sky burned orange. Flames lit half the horizon. When they reached Changshe, only scorched tents and fields of dead remained.
They marched all that way, and the battle was finished before they arrived. That must feel like the war moved on without them.
Huang Fusang and Zhojun had struck on a windy night, burning the yellow turban camps in a single blaze. Zhang Liang and Zhang Bao fled west with the remnants. But they did not get far. A force emerged from the darkness, red banners flying, and cut off the road.
Wait, someone intercepted the rebels before the brothers even got there? Who moves that fast?
The man at its head was young, narrow eyes, trimmed beard. He sat his horse unhurried, like he had come to close the matter. A cavalry colonel. Cao Cao. He planted 5,000 men across the road and gave no speeches. He simply attacked. 10,000 heads fell. Zhang Liang and Zhang Bao barely escaped with their lives.
Cao Cao, a new name. 5,000 men and no speeches. just results. This is a different kind of leader.
By the time Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei arrived, all of this had happened without them. They met the two white-haired generals. Liu Bei passed on Lu Ji's message. Huang Fusong gave one order: go back to Guangzhong tonight and help your teacher. The three brothers turned their 1,500 men around and marched back through the night, hoofbeats echoing on the dark road. Near dawn, shapes appeared ahead, soldiers escorting a prison cart. The man inside wore gray, hair half white, hands bound to the rails. Liu Bei stopped cold. He slid from his horse and ran to the cart. "Teacher!" Lu Ji sat inside. No surprise, no grief. Lu Ji spoke calmly. The court sent a eunuch to inspect. He opened his hand and asked for money. I told him the troops barely had grain, let alone gifts. He went back and told the court I was hiding behind my walls, refusing to fight. They sent someone to replace me and had me chained up for trial.
A eunuch asked for a bribe. Lu Ji refused, so the eunuch destroyed him with lies. This is what the empire rewards.
Liu Bei stood beside the cart, silent. His grip on his sword tightened until his knuckles went white. Behind him, Zhang Fei's hand was already on his spear. "Brother, let me cut down these escorts and get the teacher out." "No," Liu Bei's voice was low but hard. "The court will sort this out. You will not act rashly." Zhang Fei's eyes bulged. He stared at Liu Bei. Then his hand slid off the spear. The cart pushed forward. Lu Ji did not turn his head.
Zhang Fei has killed men for less. Liu Bei just contained a volcano with 3 words. That discipline is terrifying.
Guan Yu said, "There is no point staying now. We should go back to Zhuo." Liu Bei looked at the road ahead. A long silence. "Let's go. Back to Zhuo." They marched north. Less than 2 days later, the sound of fighting erupted from behind a ridge. They spurred their horses up a hill to look. Below, a Han army in full rout. Soldiers throwing down helmets, scattering in every direction. Behind them surged a yellow tide. On their banners, General of Heaven, Zhang Zhao.
Zhang Zhao himself. They left Guangzhong to escape this, and now it is right in front of them.
Liu Bei's gaze swept the field from the ridge. He did not consult. He did not hesitate. 2 words: fast fight. Then he plunged down the hillside. 1,500 men followed. Guan Yu peeled left, Zhang Fei right. No instruction needed. Liu Bei charged up the middle with his twin swords.
2 words. That is all Liu Bei needed. They have fought together so much now that strategy is instinct.
Zhang Zhao's army had just won a battle when this force smashed into their flank. The line buckled, then shattered. 50 li of retreat. When the dust settled, Liu Bei saw who they had saved. A fat general on his horse, belly straining his armor. He looked at people with drooping eyelids, like ants. "Dong Zhuo." Liu Bei stepped forward and bowed. The general gave him a glance. "What is your current rank?" "No rank. A commoner." Dong Zhuo's face changed. Not anger, contempt. The look of a man who found the conversation beneath him. He flicked his hand, waved Liu Bei off, and walked away.
They saved his life. He heard commoner and would not even look at them. That is what the brothers are worth to men like Dong Zhuo.
The 3 men walked out of Dong Zhuo's camp. Zhang Fei stopped dead, his voice shaking. "We fought through blood to save him, and he will not even look at us." He yanked his blade from its sheath. "I will not rest until I kill him." He turned and charged back toward the tent. Guan Yu reached out. Zhang Fei did not stop. Liu Bei stood behind, watching Zhang Fei's back. His face was calm. The blade was already at the tent flap.
Zhang Fei is about to kill a general, and Liu Bei is just watching. What happens when the blade goes through?